Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh, God.
Chubs Gone Wild.
Well, hello and happy Pride. It is Pride 2024 here at Chubs Gone Wild and, well, really all over the world, where unicorn rain are throwing up rainbows all over the maggots, and we are just having a gay old fucking time. How are you?
Swell.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, this is episode Chubs 545 of Chubs Gone Wild, which is recorded June 3rd, 2024, which is Corey Hart's anniversary. Yay! Because
Anniversary of what?
of marrying his second wife.
Ugh, who cares?
He wrote a song about it, 3rd of June. Well, the Caravan does. So
Yeah, but it wasn't to you, and it should have been.
well, I don't know. I think I would break him because he's kind of thin. Anyway, just saying. It's currently 86 degrees. Well, will be shortly, and cloudy, weirdly, outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studio, where we, starting tomorrow, are going to be under an excessive heat wave warning, as it's jumping from 86 to 106 overnight. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since my AC is broken, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's see. It is 16 days until Juneteenth, so that's coming up this month, and then we have 150 days till Halloween, and we have 205 days until Christmas. So get that wrapping paper out. It's about time. Well,
No. Actually, you said that you can't bring out the Christmas stuff until after Halloween because it goes Pride, Halloween, Christmas.
That's true. That's very
okay. Yeah.
I know that there's some people that just can't wait and they got to get that Christmas stuff out in June. So
I don't see why you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can do anything that you want. I was tempted to get out my rainbow Pride Christmas tree, but then I thought I really don't want to dig in a closet. So, yeah, it stayed.
It's that kind of conviction that makes me proud to call you friend.
Oh, right. Tom Swanner commented on the just gone. Oh, okay, gotcha. I've never gotten a notification on my phone for Trello before. What? All right.
Fucking Trello.
Let's see. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and so much more. And we would like to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, Digis, Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame and see how you can support us for as little as $1 a month. Okay. Well, today's affirmation. Join me in centering yourself, please. I allow more love into my life each and every day.
It sounds like a hooker.
Sounds like a grinder hookup. I allow love into my anyway. Hey, guess what? In history, on today, in France, the Duke of Windsor, formerly known as King Edward VIII, of Great Britain and, well, Northern Ireland, marries Wallace Warfield Simpson, a divorced American socialite whom he abdicated the British throne in December 1960, or well, 1936 for. Which, frankly, could have turned out to be a good thing since he pretty much seemed to be a Nazi sympathizer. So, just saying. Anyway, on
You were
June 3rd,
supposed to say that it was beautiful that he gave up the throne for love.
some people say that, and other people like me are just like,
Nazi.
well,
Yeah.
he was kind of not the greatest king. So, bye. And that paved the way for Elizabeth, and she was my everything.
But she didn't want it.
No, but I don't care. She was amazing monarch. Her and her predecessor, Elizabeth the First, the Tudor Chunder, just wonderful monarchs. Anyway, yeah, we did that one. Okay, on June 3rd, 1965, 120 miles above the Earth, Major Edward H. White II opens the hatch of the Gemini 4 and steps out of the capsule, becoming the first American astronaut to walk in space. Attached to the craft by a 25-foot tether and controlling his movements with a handheld oxygen jet propulsion gun, White remained outside the capsule for just over 20 minutes. So, woohoo! That's pretty cool. Not something I'd want to do, but yeah. All right.
Jesus, what's going on?
Well, we have some holidays.
Now you just went all white.
I can't help it. I only have 3% other stuff in me. Stop making fun of my whiteness. I was born this way. All right. We actually, these holidays, so starting out with Chimborazo Day. Probably pronouncing that really wrong, but there we go. It's also Impersonate Authority Day. That's not good. You can get in trouble for that. Like some of these, yeah. Political people. Love Conquers All Day. It does. It truly does. National Thank God It's Monday Day. Okay. Chocolate macaroons. Did you have any of those today?
I did not.
Me neither. National Egg Day. I almost did that, but Mom said, I don't want any eggs. No. So I didn't cook them. National Itch Day. No, thank you. Leave an office early. Nope. Repeat Day.
Repeat day.
Repeat Day. So there, we did it. Yay, we celebrated something. And of course, I think that might be Ramble Redhead's Cat Day. I don't know. Anyway, it's also World Cider Day. No, thank you. And World Clubfoot Day. Oh, girl. No. So those are the holidays. Please feel free to celebrate any of them. We do have some birthdays coming up here today and in the next week, including happy birthday to Daniel Tim Gregory, Jenny, Don, William, Drew Fowler. Oh, he's an artist. And then, it's my very distant cousin's wife's birthday, and her name is Orla. And they're a lesbian couple. So I was very happy to have another gay person in the family. So also that Juan Carlos, DeAndre, and Luis. Happy birthday, y'all. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything in our feed bag. And we do have some chub hugs to send out. I'll let you do that one if you're really going to do it.
I don't have anything on my screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's oh, it's still there though. girl, it's still there. Anyway,
Well,
Chub
on to
Hug.
celebrity deaths. No, go ahead.
Yeah, well, so
Well, Chub Hugs, we have to give Chub Hugs out for all those poor people who are going to be experiencing this extensive hot weather over the next week with no air conditioners.
uh, or who are out in it and can't get into any. It's horrible. It's absolutely just horrible. And in June, early June, it's pretty much well, I would say unheard of in this area, but I don't know. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see that Sacramento was named one of the best places to live in the U.S.?
I did not.
Yes, because of our diversity and our accessibility and blah blah blah. Anyway,
Well, and by the way, I checked the weather for next week, and we're back in the hundreds by Tuesday.
yeah, I don't want to go through the next 4 or 5 months with all hundreds and shit. I just if we do, I swear I'm gonna max out every credit card I have getting air conditioners and put 4 of them in my window units. Uh, anyway. All right. Well, where are we? Okay, we did Chub Hugs. I send out a Chub Hug to anyone that needs it because I'm a little brain fried about that. All right. Celebrity
It's the
news.
heat, girl. It's the heat.
I know. All right. Celebrity deaths. Well, starting out with Tongan Australian presenter and singer who also performed under the name Sista Native, was a presenter on ABC Pacific, and she died suddenly at the age of 48. Marion Robinson, Michelle Obama's mother, died at age 86. The former First Lady confirmed on May 31st. Elizabeth McRae, the General Hospital alum, died in her Northern California home at age 88. Georgie Campbell, the equestrian, died at age 37 on May 26th. She was competing in the Bicton horse trials in Devon, England, and she fell off her horse and suffered fatal injuries. Albert S. Ruddy, or Rudy, I'm going to go with Ruddy, the famed producer of The Godfather, died in Los Angeles after a brief illness on May 10th.
Now, if anybody saw that show that was on Paramount about the making of The Godfather, that's the guy.
Okay.
The lead character. Yeah, he made Hogan's Heroes, and then from Hogan's Heroes he got into he was into Paramount. He talked his way into producing The Godfather, dealt with the mob, ended up winning the Oscar for Best Picture for The Godfather, and then went on again to win another Best Picture Oscar for it was the Hilary Swank and Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman, where she gets punched and leaves her brain fried, brain damaged from the fights. $1 Million Baby, $1 Million Baby. Okay.
I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. In celebrity news, Cyndi Lauper is retiring from the road. The Girls Just Want to Have Fun singer-songwriter announced a farewell tour Monday morning, setting one last national jaunt that will take her to the arenas in 23 cities in North America this fall before she calls it a day as a touring artist. And sadly, she will not be coming to Sacramento.
Yeah, but is this like Cher?
I would love that, but I kind of tend to believe her. I think she's just ready to do gigs and not really tour.
I wouldn't tour. I wouldn't tour if I were her.
Well, if I were her, I mean, she's got a great life, a great husband.
Sure,
does
but I mean,
so many projects.
sure, she's got enough cash to live very comfortably for the rest of her life, and she's still going to sell albums, and she can still write Broadway musicals, and she can still do a lot of things. With that doesn't mean she has to tour 23 fucking weeks, to different venues. Probably not 23 different weeks, but 23 different cities, all those venues, all the setup, all the, I mean, Jesus.
See,
Yeah.
me, that's the thing I would love, was to be able to do the big tours like that. But I'm just really glad that we got a chance to see her when she was here, and especially at the time that she was here. But yeah, it's kind of sad about that. On other touring news, Jennifer Lopez cancels her US summer 2024 tour, This Is Me Live. It was canceled, and she announced that she's taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends. I'm completely heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Please know that I wouldn't do this unless I felt it was absolutely necessary. Lopez wrote, I promise I will make it up to you and we will be together again. I love you all so much. Until next time.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've never really understood Jennifer Lopez. I've liked some of her acting and stuff. And we'll talk about her a little bit later on here, but
Well, it's just,
I
and I'm sure that there's a following,
oh yeah.
just like Taylor Swift and just like Corey Hart. There's a following, but calm down. If don't do it. Just say, what, I've changed my mind. Who cares? We're fine with it. We're sorry, but no one's jumping off a bridge for this. But she makes it sound like she's talking us off the bridge. So it's. I think she thinks a little much
I
of
hope
herself.
it's not for like a horrible.
Oh yeah. I hope it's not health reasons.
Yeah. All right. Well, now Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, first of all, it has been just a disastrous week for television. I had almost everything I was watching ended last week. All the TV. Let's see, Abbott Elementary, The Connors, The Survivor, the Masked Singer. There's a couple others too. So, and now all I've got left is I've got RuPaul, Top Chef, and We're Here. Those are my three things right now. That's what I've got. So on RuPaul's Drag Race this week, they did makeovers on four very hot firemen. I mean, seriously, usually they kind of, fail on getting hot guys. These guys were all hot, and they even got more hot as the episode went on. When they first initially come out with their little outfits on, you're like, going, okay, yeah, this is good. But the more you've met them and knew them and heard what they were like and what their thoughts were in life, you just fell in love with all of them. But what was really funny was they were really cute. So when they first come in, the queens that get it's 4 teams of 2 and then the firemen. So it's a makeover and they have to do a girl group. But the teams, when they're talking to the guys, and seriously, some of them were doing this. Oh, yeah. And it was like, and they weren't doing it for the show, it was for the dreaminess of some of these guys. They really were. They were fun. So it went really well. Roxy's team ended up winning, and that's because Roxy is a fantastic seamstress sewer. So she had a lot of wigs, and so they were all wearing her wigs. They all 3 were wearing her wigs, and she made outfits for all 3 that looked exactly the same. So they looked like a girl group, but the rest of them were like piecing together other outfits. And so there was a little disadvantage, but for the most part, it was I got where it was going. And there's winners, but there's no losers during the All-Stars, so which I like. But it was good ultimately. Yeah, it was just really positive. Both girls ended up winning the the final as well, the final dance. They
Lip sync
but
for their
lip sync
character.
for your life. Thank you. Sorry, I shouldn't have had that gummy.
Ah,
So anyway, they it was good. It was good. Top Chef this week, we went from 6 to 5. It was terrible. Manny was in the bottom again, and was saved again. I just,
wow.
yeah, I mean, he's been in the bottom most weeks. He won the first week, and from then on, he has been just a power bottom. And then we also found out that the 2 guys we thought might be gay were not gay, and so it was just like, okay, that's really rude, because you
Wow.
kind of gave us the impression that they might be.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we've had a gay guy on this season. And what is a kitchen full of chefs with no gay people? Not even we didn't even have a lesbian, as far as I
Well,
know.
they have a lesbian hosting, so that's at least something. But yeah,
Is she lesbian?
guys, the the
Tish?
the Asian cook, yeah, she's a lesbian and she's fucking awesome. I mean, she's ever since I first saw her as a contestant, I've loved
Oh
her.
yeah. Oh, and it's funny because I know you haven't started the season yet, but they show pictures of her when she first started in Top Chef, and so you see her how she looks right now, and she looks like, okay, she's like 14 and she's in junior high. That's how she looks when she was originally on Top Chef. So that
Yeah.
was pretty fun. On We're Here, which is the drag queens
Mm,
taking drag to places that don't want it. They're
yeah.
in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, you remember Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now that's the home of the Outsiders, where the rich white people made the poor white people's lives miserable. But then again, they'd already, bombed out all of the black people back in the 20s. So
Yeah.
Tulsa is just sounds like a really hateful town. I mean, talk about bad elements of history. Anyway, so basically, this is them trying to get these people, to try to make a difference in people's lives. And they have some really wonderful people that they're working with, because they go in and then they find drag daughters to turn into drag stars, and then they have a big concert at the end of the episode. And I'll tell you, they're really shooting for the Queer Eye guys Emmys this year, because they are ripping your heart out during these shows. I mean, some of them are just devastating.
Wait, Eye are you watching now? There's not a new one, is there?
No, there was earlier in the season,
Gotcha. Okay.
but the one that they will be qualifying against for them, they're I think they have better chance of winning this year, because they're much more yeah, they're doing it better this year than they have in the past. Really coming through with the people that they're finding in the town, and their stories are just wow. Anyway, so let me see. Up next, I'm watching Them over on Prime. It is last year they had season 1, and it was about this family that moved into um, black area of Los Angeles, and no, white area of Los Angeles, and experienced the hate of the white people of the neighborhood.
Mm.
And then this year, I believe we're in Los Angeles again, and this is about a black detective who's on the hunt for a serial killer who seems to be going after a lot of people of color. And but what's weird about it is what they do is they like to break the bones and fold the people's bodies up, like
Oh,
imagine trying to fit you underneath the sink.
oh, good luck, girl.
Oh no, but what they would, this killer will find a way of doing it. That's what's creep. And so it's creep. They go like, well, this person's got 34 different broken bones that can't happen unless somebody's manipulating this. This isn't like it happens in a car accident. This is like a deliberate
Mm.
shit. And so it's kind of more freaky than it is scary, but it's definitely does have its elements of scare. Bridgerton, we've got the second half of the season coming up soon this week. So looking forward to that. Now you watched the first four, right?
Yes.
Yes. Wasn't that last episode? Were you not screaming for episode 5?
I was in love with that fourth episode. It was so good.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, finally really, really romantic, and
Yeah.
just, kind of stuff that you don't see romances don't capture very often. They
Mhm.
really don't. And they really did. They made my mouth is watering for the rest of the season.
I know,
And
and I was like, "Oh, thank God they're free of everything and they're finally together." And then I saw the preview of the next 4 episodes
oh
and
God,
oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah, I
It's
didn't, I haven't
bad.
seen it. So, really looking forward to that. Let's see. I asked you to take a test on South Park in I think it's season 6. The kids, they're all 13, so they take a thing called the Rice Purity Test,
Mhm.
and this is a test. It's 100 questions that asks you all sorts of very
Personal?
well, it's personal. Some are very personal, but others are like, have you ever, kissed a person of the same sex? Have you ever,
Yeah.
in a sexual way, have you ever kissed a family member in a sexual way? You
Right.
know, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Have you ever, just, I mean, range of everything.
Right.
And of course, if you have and yes votes gets you points. So basically, well, yes, when you say yes, it drops you down from 100. So every yes drops you down,
Mhm.
and the closer you are to 1 or 0, the bigger horror you are. Basically, is what the test is doing.
Yeah.
So, and your score was,
My score was 29.
yeah, and mine was 19.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was 11. And I figured it would be because I knew a few things that I hadn't done, he had done. And so I'm like, okay. So, but it's on South Park. It's called the Rice Purity Test. If any of our listeners want to find out how big of whores they are. Of course, in the show, some of the kids are like 97 and 94 because they're 13. So one of the characters, Jay, in the show, he was a 3, and
Oh,
yeah, he hadn't done the Mile High Club, and he didn't have sex with what I think it was a relative, and then I can't remember what the
eh,
third one was, but it was yeah, it was good. But it's a fun little show. I saw 3 movies this week. Uh, uh,
hmm,
I saw. Well, did we talk about Iron Claw last week? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Okay, Iron Claw, which is it's Zac Efron's new movie where he's a member of a wrestling family, and this is like, big time WWF or WFF or whatever they're called now. Um, Wrestling, lots of drama and acrobatics and that kind of thing. So, and so he's his father was a wrestler, and he got he had 4 boys, and all the 4 boys got into it. And so this show is based on a true family, but it was the most just horrible. First of all, it's very depressing because basically the brothers, tragedy happens to all of Zac Efron's brothers.
No.
Terrible things. And like it's just and it's because the family's cursed or some bullshit like that. And it's the father is, overbearing father, and the mother won't say a word against the father because he'd probably beat the shit out of her. It's just it's big and uncomfortable Texas story. And I say Texas because the mentality of the aggressive male Texas man, the way, at least the way we see it in film, this father is that guy, and the kids will follow whatever the father says, even if they know he's wrong. And it's kind of sad. And then the ending, it shows hope, but it's a long way to get there. So second movie I saw was Godzilla -1,
Yes.
which
Uh,
I guess I wasn't expecting Godzilla to be a supporting character. I'm pretty sure you had said that before,
mhm.
but and it's not true to the Godzilla stories that we have seen before, because I thought Godzilla was the making of the atom bomb, not a creature that was there before the atom bomb. And the atom bomb, I guess, just fed him and made him grow bigger. Because in the first scene where we see him, he's kind of small,
Mhm.
compared to what he looks the next time we see him.
Right.
So, but I thought it was an interesting story that we've got this coward guy who he's a kamikaze fighter, and he ends up getting, turning away from his group and landing on a remote island where they fix the planes, and they're going, well, nothing's wrong with your plane, so you're a fucking coward. And he
Mm.
goes, but I don't blame you. The war's almost over. Why should we be killing ourselves for nothing? And then Godzilla shows up, and then he won't use his gun on Godzilla, and then most of the guys end up getting killed because they used the guns. Godzilla might not have killed anybody had they just kept quiet.
Exactly. Yep.
And so, it's, again, it's bad choices.
Mm.
So, and then it's this guy, and what happens to him, and how Godzilla keeps coming back into his life. It was, I don't know, it was really well made.
Yes.
And I was very grateful that it was dubbed.
Yes. I
And but
undubbed, so I had to read the whole thing.
oh no, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, because that would have been rough, because the dubbing's actually very good.
Good.
um even for a Japanese film, where it usually isn't. They usually
Yeah.
are, yeah, they're usually talking a lot. you know you see their mouths moving a lot, and they say, the English translation is like three words. So but
Right.
yeah, but it was interesting, and it had a good ending.
Mhm.
And of course, the -1 is what happens at the very end. Is that the -1?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I still don't understand that. It did win special effects, and when Godzilla does show up in Tokyo,
Mhm.
it's tearing down Tokyo better than I've ever seen anybody tear down Tokyo.
Yeah. I was surprised at how they were just like, destroy it all.
Yeah, well, the tail thing, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But oh, my favorite scene though is when they're going, okay, Godzilla is coming. He's close. He's close. Uh, and then all of a sudden, they're at a harbor, and they're waiting to send the boats out
Mhm.
when Godzilla gets there, and Godzilla's ahead of where they thought he was going to be, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's already here!" And
Huh.
they go, "We got to get out the boats. We don't know when he's going to be here." And then all of a sudden, they see one boat flying across their horizon, flying across into this building
Uh,
near the harbor, and it's like, oh, okay, I think he's close. And that was super funny, and it was fantastic. The scene was fantastic. But anyway, so it's one of those movies. I don't know. Sean was kind of bored with it,
uh,
and Brian doesn't really want to watch it because if he wants to see Godzilla, he wants Godzilla to be the star. Um, so
Godzilla kind of was a star. I mean, look at
no, no, no,
Kong
he's not the star.
Godzilla. He was on screen for like 8 minutes, if that.
Right. It's just his name's in the title, and that's about it.
Mm.
So I get that. I get that. And then we last night I watched Boys in the Boat, and this is over on Prime. It is about the team, the crew team, which was a rowing team, the crew team that goes to the 36 Olympics
Mhm.
with Hitler, where
Yeah.
Hitler's at it. That's in Germany, and it shows them getting to the point of where they're going to to go. And it was, all in all, it was a good show. But they throw in a romance in there that I could not have cared less about. And it was funny because you could feel it when the movie focused on this, what probably was a made up romance, just so they had a romance involved, instead of introducing us to the all eight guys that are on the crew, and the coach, and the guy who calls out, row, like that guy.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on all of them, we've got this romance with this girl that I don't care. I mean, it was fun when they're in the, in the Olympic area, and they're listening on the radio. We have somebody to look at and go, well, we know who she is. But that was the only extra that she gave to the show, and it was kind of a useless filler piece, and it added nothing to the show. And if anything, it kind of pulled away from, like I said, learning about everybody. We find out one of the guys is a piano player, but and that was nice.
Right.
But I don't know what those two guys did. What's the guy that looks like Matt Damon? What does he do? Who is he? I don't know. He looks like Matt Damon. That's it. That's all I got. So it's that was the problem I had with the show. And just let everybody know, if you can see if you're actually watching the video, here is my scar of my hand. And this is nearly 4 weeks. It's healed up really nicely. It's not as red as it looks in this picture that you're seeing. It's just the bad lighting. It's like you're washed out, I'm dark. So and I have had to peel, not peel, but cut away some of this excess skin, the skin that's drying up and will eventually fall off.
Right.
I had to cut it off because I was scratching myself like a baby fingernails do, or like not like a kitten though. Kittens, they're horrible. But it was, I would like, I have a tendency to like itch my hand against my beard, and I could feel I was cutting myself underneath the beard, the hair, with these little scratchies. So because when you do this, it's like little, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so, but that's good. I still getting a lot of pain, and I'm waiting for that to subside. And my doctor says that give it 6 weeks more, so like 2 months, and then decide on whether you want to do the other one.
Decide. Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, I'm just keeping it cool. Thank God I have a whole house fan and ceiling fans everywhere, because I can help control the temperature. Oh, and I have that thing in that cement pond in the backyard.
Yeah, that always helps too.
Yeah, because you can, those are really nice on those warm nights where it's hasn't quite cooled down yet. So you jump out in the pool, you come back in, and the fans are on, and you're almost chilled for a bit, and then you get a little bit further in the night, you can turn on the whole house fan and cool down the house. So, but it looks like tomorrow night, it's either tomorrow night or Wednesday night. It's only going to get down to, I think, 70 degrees at night, which means it's not going to get into the 80s get into the 70s until after midnight. Yeah. So yikes. Oh, 71 now. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I am actually watching RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. I started watching it last night, and I finished episode 2. So eventually, if I keep watching it, eventually I will catch up with you. I don't know if I like that they're all staying, but I understand that at least since they're all staying every episode, they at least have a smaller cast. So you can figure out who's who. And yeah, Roxy is definitely the kind of lead at the moment, I think.
You don't think it's got Milk? I got Mick?
Oh, well, I think that, what do you call her? Got Milk is definitely a contender. I mean, she is flawless, absolutely flawless with the stuff that he does. His makeup, his costumery. When he came out in that Dolly outfit, was it Dolly? No, it's not Dolly. The Screamer.
Yeah.
I that outfit was just jaw dropping.
Well, and I think, and that's another reason why I think they're keeping the 8 people for the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
is that if you're going to do the show, this All Stars, um, imagine, okay, let's say they do 12 episodes. That means you have to have at least 12 flawless gowns for each of the competitions.
Mm-hmm.
So to even prepare for the show, you're spending at least $30,000-$40,000.
At least.
And granted that you can use those when you tour and when you're make live events and appearances, but um you know I would go, I can't afford it right now. I can't afford to go on. I mean, granted, you might have a couple things you already have in your closet that would help, but when you hear like you got to do an art piece, you probably don't have a Van Gogh Scream in your closet. You're going to have somebody have to make that for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that kind of thing. And um yeah, it's just it's going to be expensive, and it depends on what she pulls out of her Rue pulls out of her ass, is what the theme of each week is,
Mm-hmm.
and what you have in your closet and what you have to get made or what you have to make yourself, because people like Roxy got Mick, and I'm just think I know those two are big at making their own costumes.
And it was incredible. There were some absolutely amazing costumes, and some of the other girls I almost felt sorry for, because
Oh yeah,
what's her
yeah.
name in that polka dot clown dress that she had to paint. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, and then of course Bridgerton, we talked about that.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to the next set, although after, like I said, after watching that preview, I was like, oh no.
Well, something's got to go wrong in the next,
Yeah. You just
and then
know it,
by
but
the
at
end,
the same time, you're
yeah,
like, oh God.
and by episode 8, everything will be okay.
It better be, because they are a great couple. And it really surprised me when I looked it up, because I think she's supposed to be 19,
Yeah,
and she looks like she's like 14, 15. Well, 15, we'll go with 15. And I've always been like, oh my gosh, she's just such a young little thing, and she's such a good actress too. She's 37 in
yeah.
real life. I was like, what?
Well,
And
isn't he 32,
31, yeah.
31? Yeah.
And
So,
him, with the guys, sometimes you're just like, oh yeah, they're, that they're older. But man, did he change from the first two seasons?
well, they gave him chest hair this season.
Oh, and that was beautiful. But they gave him a chest this season and cleaned up his hair and made him all suave with that leather jacket. And I was just like, damn. I mean, he was just, wow, so different. Um, well, anyway, for me this week, I have been in a lot of meetings. We're planning the 25th anniversary of a gala for one of my clients, and it's going to be big and beautiful and a lot of work. And I've just been dealing with that. So lots and lots of meetings. Also, of course, my AC is acting up. They just put in a brand new unit last year, and it worked so well. It was so amazing. And this year, well, it worked fine for until a couple days ago, and then it will not cool below 75, and the cooling stream is like just trickling in. Um, and of course I had to do the clean filter, and Lori Dean helped try to clean the unit outside and make sure all the debris was off of it, but it's still not working right. So I had to do a maintenance order and haven't heard anything from them yet on that. But I was like, of course this has to happen as we have a sudden giant excessive heat wave of over 100. I'm like, and I thought once they got the new unit in, we weren't going to have to deal with this anymore, because we were dealing with it multiple times every summer for years. And here we are again, and it just kind of pisses me off, because my philosophy, I like things that work. If you take care of it, you put maintenance into it, you do what things need to work. And when they don't, it pisses me off.
Now, are you keeping it on overnight?
Sometimes it depends on how hot it is. Usually no. And also we leave it at least to 70, 72, and we turn it off during the peak hours from 5 to 8, which is usually when it's getting, around the hottest time. We just kind of, she's asleep and I kind of suffer through and then turn it back on in the evening. So, but, anyway. All right. Okay, so I did watch a few things this week other than Bridgerton. I watched the movie Atlas with Jennifer Lopez, who just went off tour, canceled her tour. Anyway, it is a movie on Netflix. It's a sci-fi movie about the future, not too distant future, where Jennifer Lopez's mother makes a human-like AI, and then, well, if I tell you too much about it, it's spoilers. But anyway, so Jennifer Lopez is the daughter. She grows up. Well, I guess it's not spoilers to say that the AI like killed her mother and then started like set all the other AI free, and then they blew up a lot of the world, started a big war. Humans did drive them all back and everything, but then he fled to the moon or something. And well, anyway, that's enough. You'll get all that in the first 10 minutes, so it's not really spoilerish. The first 20 minutes or so, very standard sci-fi, AI-ish, like this is, you know everything that's going to happen. She's a tough one and she shut herself off, and all of that. But when they finally get to where they're going, and the movie is basically her and an AI voice, and it gets really good. She actually, like, her acting has gotten is really good. The action's great. It turned into a really good, decent Netflix movie. So go check it out, have some fun, and just watch it to watch it. Don't sit there looking for, some big cathartic experience. And then I watched the Wham documentary with, of course, George Michael and Mr. Andrew, and it was really good. And even though I have always loved Wham actually, and George Michael and all that, Andrew Ridgeley, this was great to piece together. And they were only because they were best friends from like 11 years old. And then they were only Wham was only a big hit for like 4 years before they kind of split. But they split very amicably. It was not, like other rock bands where they're just like, I'm sick of you, I hate you. This was not like that. It's a great documentary. It is just under 90 minutes. It's a good watch. Netflix, you can speed it up a little bit if you want to, and it's good. Tell you what's not good though. I watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, and it's under 45 minutes and it feels like 3 hours. It has Benedict Cumberbatch along with AOD, the guy from IT Crowd, IT Crowd. It's got a lot of top names in it, and it is, I guess, based off of a real book from a long time ago, but I don't care. It was very stylistic. I saw your scar. It was very stylistic. If you're into it, you're going to be totally into it, and if you are like me, you're going to be like, "Oh my God, I don't know if I could sit through all of this." And then you get to the
It was
end.
horrible.
Did you watch it too?
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, like
Ugh.
last year, and it was just like and there's like three different movies, short movies that are, and it's like if this is the best of the three, I'm not watching the other two.
Oh, is it? There's
That's
more?
what I heard.
Oh, no, thank you.
But there's like a half-hour one and a 25-minute one, that type of thing. So
Oh.
I don't know what it wasn't this based on a raw
It was based
um
on somebody's book, and
yeah, the guy who did Willy Wonka.
well, fuck that. I'd rather watch Willy Wonka than
Yeah.
watch any of this, because this, and I know it's very stylized and there's going to be people that absolutely love it, and that's great. But for me, it was hard to sit there, even for that short amount of time, on 1.5 speed. It was just like, I don't want to see this. Anyway, but I finished it because that's me. And of course, I'm still working on my poetry book, and that's about it. I have not watched the end of Discovery. It just ended a couple days ago, and so now I get to go binge watch the second half of the season and cry probably through the whole thing. All right, let's get into advice. I suffered a fall at a social gathering. I got hurt pretty badly and ended up with large scrapes and bruises for over a week. I'm lucky I didn't break a bone. I was pretty shaken up. When I later shared the news with close friends, two of them started laughing hysterically. I said that was ultimately okay. I said that I was ultimately okay, considering how serious the fall was, not that they asked. I know that there are endless videos online of people falling, and that these cause laughter, but this is something I shared with people close to me. When did it become acceptable to laugh out loud when someone is describing an event that could have caused them serious injury? Am I missing something?
Didn't this happen to you?
That's happened to me several times, and y'all were
Yeah.
pissed about it.
Yeah.
I
And
was ready to cut you guys off, period, and didn't want to talk to you anymore. But whatever.
yeah, but that's, I mean, that's a weird, it's a thing that's weird because we've normalized, especially watching fat people fall down on videos. I mean, when it has the countdown number 30, and so you look at the first one and you go, oh, okay, and then the second one's fat too, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the rest of this. But yes, so it was yeah, it was this are you the asshole for being upset about it? I don't think
No, actually,
I
it
don't.
comes from Miss Manners' question.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, is it okay should they be feeling fine that they're mad about it? Yeah, they could feel fine about, they've got a right to be upset that, yeah, it's all very subjective to the person that is happening to. I've seen people fall down and laugh at themselves over the whole ordeal, but yeah, I mean, sure, they've got their right to be angry about people laughing about it and not caring.
Hmm.
But there's also this visual in my head when they're telling me a story. It's hard. It's very hard. I mean, it's happened to me. I remember it, yeah, a few times happening to me, and fortunately, I didn't get laughed at. But I ended up with one time with a very bruised tailbone.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
No, it's awful. When it's somebody in person, I don't laugh, and this is like could be conditioned from years of having to deal with my parents falling and possibly seriously injuring themselves. It's not funny to me now. If somebody's okay and it's later and they're kind of chuckling about it too, then maybe. But for the most part, it's fucking scary. Um, but it does tend to be like people. I have noticed, I could be wrong, but this is just what I've noticed, is that when thin people fall, people don't laugh as much. They're more concerned about them. But when fat people fall, they just think it's hilarious. So yeah. Anyway, the people laughing at you were kind of asshole. I actually had one where I was over at Clint's, and he and our friend Seaman were there, and I fell like 20 feet from them. Like, I don't know, I tripped over something, what it was, and I fell pretty hard, and I couldn't get up. I didn't have anything like a chair or anything to help me push myself back up. And they're 20 feet away from me, and they're fucking ignoring me. And I'm like, hello, can I get some help here? And they just fucking ignore me. The only one that loved me was when the little old dog Cody was still alive. He came over and basically kind of looked at me like, "What are you doing down here? What happened?" That was it. That was all I got from them. Anyway, all right. Hey Chubbs, this comes from our Timothy, and he says, "What would your drag name be?"
Okay, that's nothing that you can spring on us.
Oh, sure it is. Spring.
Well, I have absolutely no idea.
Your name would be Tommy Two Boobs. Don't know. I know mine would be Mana Nicole, because that's the things that I've used. That or Cousin Amy Lou. But we're gonna move that one down here till later so that you can think on that, and then we'll talk
Okay.
about next episode. Because I think you can come up with a real good one. All right. Hey Chubbs, Timothy asks, what is your go-to karaoke song?
It would be On the Radio by Donna Summer.
Well, that would be so good.
And I got a good story.
Okay.
Actually, I probably have told the story before. When we were doing the Crucible back in college,
Cool.
I played one of the judges in the second act, and I was unfortunately with a cast of very very, 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 very technical, not oh, I must get into character, I must
Method actors.
Yes, methods, I'm sorry. So I mean, I was walking around and it's like there's people in the hallways weeping, to get into character. And so I'm that's not me. I'm not a method actor. I mean, I use part of the method idea, sure, but I don't need to, shove a hot poker at my ass to get angry at somebody, right? And so what I need to do is I need to get my voice ready. And so I would go out on stage, and I would, when everybody's in the dressing room, I'd go out on stage and I'd do vocals of On the Radio a cappella. And it was great because it really, once my voice is ready, I'm ready to act.
Right.
So what happened was they had turned on the speakers in the green room because we were doing performance at this point. So I think it might have even been opening night. So I went in there and I'm singing and I go, oh, on the radio. And then the entire cast came in, threw me to the floor and beat me up.
What?
Yeah. I was probably bruised. Well, it was because it was probably 79, 80, right there. The disco was dead era. So a lot of college students were done with disco and they were more into the rock, I guess. And so disco was dead and they were going to kill me. It was the best performance that they ever gave of the run, because I inspired them so much that they wanted to destroy the judge and to get a little bit of validation and a little bit of revenge on what they were I was putting them through, and they gave a great performance. And I sat uncomfortably on the bench and listen to their stories, and it was interesting. It was an interesting situation, but that's always how I had warmed up. So that would be my song.
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have never really found a song that I can do acceptably that is not like a um like Silent Night or something like that. So I don't
How
know.
about Thank You for Being a Friend, for the
Now,
Golden Girls theme song?
probably do that one pretty well. Clint drugged me up there once and made me sing the Olivia Newton-John part of Hot Summer Nights or
Summer Nights.
Summer Nights, yeah. And I was just like, okay, at least I knew what the fuck the song was, so I could do it. But yeah, I was very nervous and shy back then, so I probably sucked. Uh, I think there was one other time, but I don't remember. Okay, hey Chubbs, Timothy asks if you could create a new brand that, okay, that's another one that we'll save. Read that one for later and we'll talk about it next time. How, yeah, okay. Hey, Timothy asks, describe your perfect evening.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a difference. There's going out evening and there's staying home evening.
Right.
And it just depends. What I really like is I like when the weather is cooler and we've got the front door open and you can feel the air outside getting cooler. It's just almost brisk to where you're almost ready to shut the front door. There's something good on TV. You made something yummy for dinner, that kind of thing. That's a perfect evening for me. I mean, I do have fun evenings where I'm going out to a comedy club or going to go see a play or something. It is not what is not favorite thing anymore is going out and standing in a bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
just
one of my
I
things.
I just don't understand the appeal. I never really liked it. It was okay. I guess when I was younger, it was okay, but it was like, you know, that. But then you were mostly just grazing for guys at that point. So
I also think that when we were younger, we had more of a need to go to a place, a gay bar, where we could see other gay people and at least be validated that we were, not alone. Yeah, because I know that's one of the reasons that I liked being out at the bars when I was in my, well, late 20s and 30s, because before that I didn't get out there, but because I just wanted to be around other gay people where I felt like I could kind of just let that bag drop and just be myself. But then, of course, I'm in a room full of posers and muscle boys and Twinkies, and they're looking at me like, "What are you doing here, fatty?" So, to where as now I don't feel as bad about that anymore when I go to a bar. I don't feel like I get as much of that. Of course, now it's more like well, I guess daddy's here cruising. Nope, daddy's here to look at you and judge you, bitch. Oh, sorry. Anyway, yeah, a perfect evening for me would be, what would be a perfect evening for me? Actually, a perfect evening for me would be to have all of us, in our little friend group, um, have like a nice relaxed dinner and a game night, and then come home and do my work in a nice, cool environment, and everybody be okay. That's the main thing that makes me happy, is that everybody, like in my family and friend circle, are good, and I don't have to worry about them. That is something that I do. So, all right. Well, thank you, Timothy, for those questions, and we'll think on a couple of those other ones there, and we'll try to do those next week. Really appreciate you sending them in. If you'd like to send us any questions for Chubbs Gone Wild, just send it over to us at, wow, the email link completely disappeared. That's very interesting. Oh, there we go. Send it to chubsgonewild@gmail.com. All right.
wait, you didn't remember that?
Well, well, as you know, as we paused for just a moment, my mind is suddenly focused on something else. So nope, I had no clue what the hell our email was. Okay. All right, what's in your lunchbox? Well, actually, let's start with you.
Oh, I'm already on mooses.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do mooses first.
Oh, well, no, now I'm on mine.
There's a lot to moose here.
Yeah.
All right, starting with back home and back to the routine eating. Here is some curry chicken, large portion with extra chicken. Wow.
Yeah, I just bought Safeway was having a sale on chicken breasts, 197 a pound, which is a terrific price. So I picked up 6 pounds for $12. Can you believe it? And then divided them up into two, it was 8 breasts, 2 breasts, 4 packages, froze it. So now I can do curry chicken because I'll cut it thin like this and make it up. But I know he went somewhere because of the fancy dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks yummy. Looks yummy.
Well, next up we have don't know if you two got a couple of dessert picks that I snapped when in New York. Carrot cake for me and key lime pie for hubby. He said the pie wasn't anything like the ones in Florida, but he still ate it. I will take a plate of both, please.
Yeah, I didn't think about trying the key lime pie.
Mm,
Actually, we went days before we even had a dessert. You got all these great dessert places all around, but we're eating pizza and New York, deli stuff, and it's like by the time I've never been a big dessert fan, but I need to do that more often.
yes,
I really do. And
dessert life.
and this looks like this is at the Carnegie Diner as well.
Mm. Oh yeah, those plates.
Those beautiful plates.
So another friend of mine said that actually, because I've always wanted to, after watching Cake Boss and all that, I've always kind of wanted to try some of the stuff from Carlos Baker. Although I did try one of his cakes that they ship out here, and then anyway, I've heard that the quality now that there's so big and starting to franchise and all that stuff, that the quality of it's gone down just a bit. But I don't know. Still like to try some.
Yeah, Junior's famous cheesecake. You can order it online. And it was so weird because I didn't get any of it while I was there because I was always weighed down by the time I ate. So anyway, but I know that a friend of mine saw the Junior's cheesecakes at Costco this year for Christmas. And I went looking for them. I couldn't find them anywhere, but so I'm gonna watch out for them this year and get myself some New York cheesecake because that was the one thing I didn't get while I was there that I wanted to get.
Sounds so good. We have rigatoni and meatballs, really good. Lots of garlic.
I love the meatballs. It's funny because I always think of, we do mostly meat sauce on the West Coast,
Mm-hmm.
not really meatballs, and that sounds like little tiny meatballs sound kind of good.
Yeah. Mr. Larry Dean makes a good meatball. Then
I bet he does.
then we got hubby got a turkey burger and fries. I can't choke them down, just too dry for me, but he likes it. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
Like the
so
fries.
so in the middle is the bun, the
Yeah.
top bun. Okay, okay, yeah, I'm sure that the turkey or chicken burger, it just depends how it's cooked. I mean, Costco has a chicken burger that's really juicy, really tasty. So I guess it really depends on seasoning and how well it's cooked. But I think it looks good.
Yeah, I could do without the sauce on that bun. The bun looks beautiful.
You don't even know what the sauce is. It could be something fabulous.
I don't think so. But those fries
Okay.
are good. I like the way they're presented.
Yeah, yeah, fries. They've been having a lot of fun with fries and little cones and shit like this to make it seem fries upscaled. So
Did you see that meme about my boyfriend asked me to choke him? So I gave him oh gosh, what was it? 2 biscuits and no water, but it was from one of the restaurants where the biscuits are super dry.
That's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. Um,
I think, I think that we, like, once again, on the West Coast, we don't eat a lot of biscuits. And
right.
so
Good.
I'm not even sure what a good biscuit should taste like.
Yeah.
What its consistency should be and stuff like that. So
Or
yeah,
with
but
crab
now Moose, if you could ask your hubby what the sauce, the orange sauce was.
yeah, it'd be
I'd be
interesting.
curious to find out, because that's gonna decide whether or not I want that chicken sandwich or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then next up we have Tom.
Okay, so there's a place here in town on Q Street, and it's got the best. It's like the best Mexican restaurant, and it is literally a hole in the wall. You would drive past it and not know it was there, because it's just actually you can walk past it and not realize it was there. It's so there's just nothing. And but Sean had heard something about it. We went there. These tacos were filled with so much meat, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then all of the stuff that's on it, they fry their own shells. And the first thing you have to do is you have to break the spine,
Mm.
because the shells are, they're very crispy. You break the spine, and then you use it like a um those hair clip things that hold the hair together. They look like two little combs coming together. That's how you have to hold the taco. You have to hold it together so everything doesn't fall out. But
Mhm.
you eat it, and everything is just so beautiful. And so this last time, the second picture is their nachos. And their nachos were covered. This is steak, guacamole, cheese, sour cream, beans. It was so good. And now we're like going, now we got to try the quesadillas, because so far nothing has been bad, and it's all been good. So now we'll be going to one taco, nachos, and a quesadilla this next time we go. Because now we're feeling out the restaurant. I mean, for a year we only ate tacos.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
great.
yeah, so it's I keep trying to get people I know to go to this place, because it's so good. And because you're paying, for tacos, it's like, I think it's 350 a taco, but you're getting a real taco, not like a Jack in the Box, not Jack in the Box. Well, Jack in the Box or Taco Bell taco, which is, afterwards you're going, okay, I need about 8 of those to feel like I'm eating something. This you need 2, and you're like, I'm so stuffed.
Um,
Uh, but yeah, great restaurant, and the looks, they always present themselves so beautifully. Yeah.
yeah, it does. It looks really, really good. I don't know. I've been the last couple days, I've really been wanting a pizza, just a pizza. Um, and it's really want a pizza. I could even take a Little Caesars pizza. But you know what? Why I don't want to do it is because no matter what you do when you have a pizza ordered in, you could have just one pizza and it's still going to cost you $40 with all the fees and delivery and everything else. And I just hate it, especially if you end up getting a crap day where the pizza is just bleh.
Well, you can always make your own. We've been making our own.
Yeah, that is an option. Actually, I believe Heather's coming over this week. Maybe Heather makes a really good homemade pizza. Um,
Well, I mean, you could get the ball of dough from Winco. You can get a bag of cheese from Winco.
although
You can
have you?
get
When's the last time you used their dough?
last week.
Okay. Do you feel like the taste is changed?
No. I
Okay.
mean, I did. What was weird was the first ball of dough that I had. When we got them, they were both kind of frozeny, right?
All right.
So we put one in the freezer. We put the other, let the other one thaw, and then what you do is you take it out of the refrigerator, take it out of the bag, put it to room temperature in a bowl or onto a parchment sheet, cover it, and give it like an hour to rise, and
Mm.
then kind of form it, and then let it. What I do is then I cover it again and let it rise a little bit more. Well, the first one, it came out really nice. The big ball, but I flattened out really well, and it was fine. The second one that was frozen all the way, and then I defrosted it and then let it rise, and then patted it down, then let it rise again. That one almost was like a deep dish pizza crust. It instead of being flat, where I thought I had it pretty flat, it actually rose to the point of where I couldn't break it down anymore. And so I had this big dough, almost like a not a focaccia, one of those breads
Yeah.
pieces. Yeah, it was very fat. And that was the only thing that was different. It was really tasty, but there was a lot, it seemed like there was a lot more dough, and I don't know how that could happen when it's the same amount of dough. So,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed that when we first started going to Winco, I would get one of their pre-made pizzas that you just bring home and cook for $7-8. I would do that every week, and it was really good. And then just one week, it was just like they changed the dough somehow. There was some flavor about it that just, I don't know, it didn't taste as good anymore.
But that's the pre-made ones, right?
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
kind
so
of
that means they could have
they were
they could have changed where they bought them from, because
giving-
I'm sure they buy them. Well, actually, it's from the front, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, but they sell it back in the freezer section. But yes, I think
yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is odd then. That is weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the dough comes from the front of the house as well. So yeah, I don't know. That's weird. But it could have just been a weird batch.
Well, it could, but it's been going on. It's been ongoing.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
So
Yeah, well, we
stopped buying them, which makes me sad because that was one of my favorite things to get there.
yeah.
And then Heather would put all sorts of additional toppings and stuff on it. Yeah.
No, I'm playing with my camera.
Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And Tom, find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find Matt's books at justkisstheguy.com. Find all of our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild, and give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes, and happy Pride. We are kicking off. This is our inaugural 2024 Pride episode, and we wish you lots of love and rainbows. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said.
Yeah.
Love and rainbows.
All right. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.